I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
What?
You a dude that don't know what
Rank.
he is. Or are you a dude who has no idea what
Rank.
he is and claims to know what
Rank.
he is?
What is up? Welcome into Adjust the Ranks, a part of the double FU, the FU times two, the fantasy football universe. We're a couple of dudes who know what we're doing, ranking some guys, but those are a couple of dudes or a bunch of dudes who have no idea what dudes they are. We're trying to sort out which dudes they are. That's a mouthful. Ryan, what's up?
Oh man, it's been quite the offseason. I'm sorry about your Patriots. It's
Tough one.
a tough one, but got Drake May. But outside of that, we're on the Dynasty offseason. I'm already picking up Derek Carr on waivers, so football season never stops.
Actually, in that league, you picked up Derek Carr, and I swiftly came back in over the top to make sure that I didn't lose out on Jalen Naylor dropping Amari DiMarcado. So, it's a tough scenes out in these streets at the moment.
Yeah, it is definitely tough scenes, but you gotta make do what you gotta make do. Maybe Derek Carr starts for the Jets. Maybe Jalen Naylor goes somewhere productive because they drafted Ty Felton way too early last year.
Yeah.
In my opinion, for what not based on the player, but based on what they needed. And obviously it looks that way when you watch the Vikings in their disaster season, but it's tough. But Dynasty waivers never stop, except in some leagues where I tried to pick up Derek Carr and said waivers are disabled. Try again next year.
Yeah, I have a few leagues that are home leagues that have disabled waivers until I think the 1st of March. People are hibernating. They'll wake up briefly, have no clue what to do during the rookie drafts, but they'll at least do their best. But then, of course, we have the other contingent of home leagues where they have their rookie drafts in August. And I have both sides of those. So interesting stuff. Look, I don't know that we know exactly what we're doing here either in rookie drafts, but we do what we can. Speaking of that, before we introduce the rookies, which we'll introduce a few of them here because we have a couple of them ranked highly. We'll talk a little bit about our Dynasty rankings and go position by position. These will be my Dynasty rankings that I've completed and just updated now on Fantasy Pros. You can check them out. Ryan's Dynasty rankings will be available on Fantasy Pros soon. That is coming. And then we'll be able to show you a consensus between the two of us. But for right now, we'll just pick apart what I was able to do. And let's make this one just a little bit bigger. We're going to start with the quarterbacks because you have to start with the quarterbacks first. And Ryan, what's something that stands out to you right away? Let's just look at the top 6. You got Allen, you got May, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Herbert, and Caleb Williams coming in at 6. Let's save Caleb Williams for a second. Maybe there's something else you want to talk about in the top 6.
Yeah, I have the top 6 in the same, same tier, different order. I have Lamar and Drake May switch. That's preference. I have Herbert a little lower. I have Caleb a little higher. We're going to talk about Caleb later, but I have the same top 7 as you do. Just, maybe 1 or 2 switch. It's really hard to get out of this tier of guys. And then you have the Mahomes who's injured, who would definitely be in this top 7 if he didn't have the ACL tear.
Sure.
And then it starts to get a little murky at quarterback. I see Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence. They're good options. Don't get me wrong. But it starts to get a little tricky down there, a little dicey.
It does. I agree. Well, let's stay in the top 6. Let's talk a little bit about Caleb Williams. For me, he creeps up to 6. We were trying to, in a Discord chat, trying to kind of order the quarterbacks. Caleb settled at 9. I yelled at the group. I got them to push him up to 7. But there's a couple of things that are interesting here. Number one, with Caleb Williams, obviously his arrow and trajectory is on the way up. How high do you think Caleb Williams can reach if he has another really, really good season in Chicago and they actually figure it out and become a little bit more balanced than the crazy run packages they were putting together in the beginning of the year? How high can he climb these rankings?
Well, I have him at 4, so I have him.
Love that.
I don't think you could climb much higher. You could pass Drake May if, I have my concerns about Elliott Wolf and the Patriots. So if he could potentially jump Drake May, if Drake May doesn't get a lot of help this offseason. But it's really hard to jump Josh Allen or Lamar unless, they take a serious decline. So I think 3 is the highest you could go.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Well, let's talk about Lamar and May. You said you had them reversed. I can understand that. Maybe that's a bit of homerism, but it's also ageism. And Lamar hasn't completely done it in the last couple of years at the level that he was working with back in, what was it, 2017? I think that was his first MVP season. Lamar's been a bit more sporadic than he was just a couple of seasons ago. Now he's got a coaching change. It's pretty much Zay and nobody else likely to leave. Lamar, you still really high on him? Because he's got to throw for 4,000 yards to be up this high, right?
Yeah, there's no reason to be low on him. I mean, new coach now. Him and Harbaugh had a clear rift. Like, the rift was very, very wide with reports from this past season, and I think he's going to get back into form. He needs a little bit more help on the receiving side. Like, Zay Flowers is good. We talked about him, but there's not really a number 2 target. I mean, Mark Andrews is there. He got paid a ton of money. Isaiah Likely is leaving. Rashad Bateman's there. I think he needs a number 2 option, like a kind of, tall wide receiver. I don't know where he's going to get that because free agency's a little thin outside of Alec Pierce, I'd say, and George Pickens, who's not hitting free agency. He might be traded, they said, but is he really going to be traded? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So it's Alec Pierce and everyone else. I like Romeo Dobbs, but how much is he going to help Lamar? So he just needs one of those jump ball kind of winners, I think.
Yeah. Alec Pierce works. Plus, you might also be good with big body AJ Brown type.
I wish you could get AJ
Brian
Green
Thomas type. We'll see how much they want to invest in the offense. My guess is not much considering who they brought in, but we'll see. What is up, Jamie? Thanks for joining us. Let's look at, and for me, just quickly, let's not harp on this, but Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert for me feel safe. This is why I have them both locked in my top 6. I think with Burrow's injuries, you can make an argument. With Herbert's, the fact that maybe they lean on the run game and everything that Mike McDaniel is going to be able to bring to that offense and the running backs that they currently have and their line. But I feel like these guys are both safe and have upside, which is why I have them so high and Jaden Daniels a little bit lower. Would you agree with that assessment?
I have it Burrow. Well, I have Burrow at 5, and then I have it Daniels, Herbert, but that could easily switch with how much cap space the Chargers have this offseason. I think they're close to like 60, 70 mil.
Yeah, that's good.
They don't have a lot of needs. They're going to get Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater back. That's going to help Justin Herbert so much. And they're going to patch up that interior. I don't want to try to pronounce the guy's name from Penn State, the guard. I've heard it a couple of times. I don't want to butcher it.
I don't even know.
I got to get familiar with draft prospects, but he's been like a lock at 18 at their draft spot. It just makes too much sense. So Herbert's going to get a lot of help. His receivers are probably locked in. Who knows if Keenan's coming back? That's just the only thing that you got to worry about with that offense. But Trey Harris is there to plug that void. So the offense is pretty much set outside of the interior of the line. So you know what you're getting with this offense. So outside of Jaden Daniels and all the unknowns, Terry McLaurin held out for how long this past season into the regular season. Then he got hurt right away. So I'm gonna switch those as well. I think you're definitely right. Herbert's in a way better scenario than Jaden Daniels, and you gotta factor scenario in.
Yeah, I mean Jaden Daniels was my 1 or 2 or 3 all throughout the offseason last year. The problem is he's only done it once, and then he hasn't done it once. I mean, he wasn't even fantastic. Like you said, he was absent McLaurin, but he wasn't even fantastic when he did play. Were those growing pains? Were those actual injury pains? We don't know, but so far he hasn't been consistent. And certainly Justin Herbert and Burrow have those proven track records. We know who they are when healthy. I'm not sure we know who Jaden Daniels is when healthy yet, but he's got that upside to be number 1 overall. We'll see if he can do it again.
Yeah, if you can check your DMs real quick while I talk about. We got to stop crowning these guys a little too early.
Yeah,
it's just, we saw it with TJ Stroud. TJ Stroud was keep trade cut. They had the 4 9s next to his name, and that's where his dynasty value was. Yeah. It was there, and Jane Daniels is the same. I'm not saying Drake May is the same, but I'm getting a little worried about his scenario in New England, and when these guys aren't, say the Josh Allens and Lamar Jacksons who we've talked about have done it for years. Joe Burrow has done it for years. We've seen it with Justin Herbert as well. We've seen it with Mahomes. We've seen it with Jalen Hurts with the tush push. We've seen it with a bunch of these guys. You gotta pump the brakes a little bit. And Drake May's in the right spot. I have him at 3, like not too far behind you, but I'm a little wary that he hasn't put it on paper so many times, but he looks incredible. But that playoff run was a little rough, Jeremy. It was a little rough.
It was rough. But hey, look, I'm not going to put a ton of that on him. We know the issues with the offensive line. He's been relatively good. I just think he ran up against top defenses in the league. Certainly, he looked better against the worst defenses in the league. I think the truth about Drake May is that he's somewhere in the middle, but he's not afraid to run, and we like that. And he was the NFL's leading rusher, I believe, at the quarterback position this past season. So just something to consider there as well. It was a down year overall for rushing QBs, but that's just another thing to consider. That's in his arsenal. And of course, that tide is going to rise his fantasy ship. If we look at the back end here of the QB1s, you got Patrick Mahomes, Purdy, Lawrence, Bo Nix. Lawrence kind of proved something, although I'm not ready to put him over Brock Purdy simply because of Kyle Shanahan. Maybe with one more elite season from Trevor Lawrence like he showed this last year, I will do that. At the moment, he's my 10. And Bo Nix, everybody hates on this guy, but all Bo Nix does is come out. He's kind of puts up similar lines to Brock Purdy. He'll give you a 5-touchdown game, and then maybe they'll focus on the run or they'll throw a stinker here or there. But Bo Nix is better than you want him to be for fantasy. Is he that good for reality? I don't know. Denver probably would have been the Super Bowl if he played. So Bo Nix is interesting there at 11, and I cannot find a place to move Jalen Hurts up. I just think there's too much involved with, will AJ Brown be there or not? Will they be able to find a suitable replacement for him? Is this offensive line going to be able to be healthy and young enough and kind of recoalesce to their form a couple years ago? Will they ban the tush push this offseason? I mean, there's so many different factors here. And then can Jalen Hurts throw for 4,000 yards? It's not his game, but if he's not scoring 15 touchdowns on the ground like he didn't this year, just 8, that's my concern for him, especially with all those other factors. So I'm not ready to put him beneath Jackson Dart. So Ryan will be thankful for that. But those are my top 13 there.
Yeah, I have him one spot above Jackson Dart. So I'm not there yet either. Brock Purdy's probably our biggest rankings, disparity so far. You have him at 9. I'm at 15. I'm worried about that offense.
Okay. That's fair.
It's not Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan's great. It's everything around Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan. Christian McCaffrey, only getting older. We're going to have that talk in a little bit here. George Kittle tore his Achilles in that game against the Eagles. He's probably not going to be ready for a while. And then you have Brandon Ayuk, who is basically done with the team. So where does that leave you? Ricky Pearsall?
Yeah.
Juwan Jennings? Yeah. Juwan Jennings is a free agent. And he wasn't happy with the team either. So it's literally Ricky Pearsall, which Ricky Pearsall's a buy, by the way, if you could get that point, because he's basically the only one left at this point. Outside of McCaffrey, of course. But like I said, we're going to have that talk later.
I hear that, but let me tell you this. Brock Purdy injured pretty much all season until week 11. Played in 2 games before that. Week 11 on QB 6, 20, 16, 4, 1, 1, and QB 28 against Seattle. So to finish out the season. So I'm not so worried about him, but like you mentioned, the injuries, the age, that could be problematic. So I hear you.
I like Brock Purdy. He's underrated.
He really is.
He's underrated, really, but like I said, everything around him is the thing that's giving me pause. Like you see here, Dak's older than him, but Dak is going to have probably George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb again. Javonte Williams, like he's going to have a better stable weapons. Jared Goff definitely is. Jackson Dart might. I think Wandale might go to the Titans at this point. I don't know what's going on there, but
maybe
there's a couple of guys that I was like, I think I want to rank them over Brock Purdy just because of what they have going into 2026.
I hear that. Let's not focus too much more on quarterback because we have lots more guys at different positions. But I want to ask you 2 questions. The first question I want to ask you about is Fernando Mendoza. Are you happy with where he slots in here? Would you move him up or down before he's even drafted?
I would probably put him right there. I'll be honest, I thought I added rookies in and I didn't. So I'm looking at right now. It looks right. I'd probably have him at 20. I'd maybe 21 with where you have him. I'd probably move him higher. I have him over Cam Ward. Cam Ward's UCL injury scares me. Like Big Ben had that injury and it zapped his arm strength. So it's something to watch. I'm a little concerned, but I'm not ringing the alarm bells yet. And there's one quarterback I'd probably have higher than him that I don't see on the board right now. I'd probably have Malik Willis higher than him. I think Malik Willis is going to go to Miami and just shred. I don't know. There's something about it.
Listen, I think Malik Willis too. He's here at 28. He hasn't moved yet. So for me, I don't know where he's going, right? It will depend. Let's say he goes to Arizona. It's okay. Arizona's been pretty tough. How old was Ben when that happened? This is a good argument here from Mike.
He's old. He's pretty old.
Point.
And then
good point.
I think we should bring up Tyler Shaw because
hang on. Let's just stick with Mendoza for a second.
Right.
Jamie wants Mendoza at 16. For me, I like Jordan Love. I don't like his weapons, but I like the situation otherwise. He showed out, but he is inconsistent. You got Baker Mayfield there. I expect a bounce back from him. Sam Darnold, I don't know how you look. I get it, the 14 points per game, but a lot of that was because they were leaning on that 1-2 punch on the ground. They can't do that anymore. And this team, I think, figures out that they need another outside receiving weapon. That clearly wasn't Torrey Horton, or maybe it will be. But I think Sam Darnold can grow in this, in a new offense. We'll see what happens now that Kubiak's gone. But Mendoza at 20, would you put him as high as 16, Ryan?
I'd probably put him at 17, looking at yours. I think you can move him above Cam Ward with the concerns. I think Sam Darnold, he lost Clint Kubiak. The I don't know if he touched the trophy or signed the contract first with how quick that alert came out Sunday night. Like right after the game, it came out. So who knows there? And then Baker, I think Baker's underrated. I think that injury really zapped his whole season.
I agree.
And of course, Chris Godwin was hurt. Mike Evans was hurt. Ibuka was hurt, came back way too soon off that injury. So all of his wide receivers were hurt. Bucky Irving, who knows what happened to him for those couple of weeks there. They said he was expected back. And then, of course, something prolonged his injury. So it was just a disaster season for Baker, and I don't think we could hold that against him too much.
Yeah, fair. Also, Wirfs was down. I don't know if you mentioned Wirfs was down for multiple weeks.
No, so everyone was down.
Yeah. So, all right. You mentioned Shuck here. Here's the rest of my rankings as far as they go. Let's wrap this up. Talk about Tyler Shuck and then anything else you want to discuss.
Man, he's a baller. I was looking at his grades for someone tweeted out his intermediate throw grades, and all he saw was like EPA 1, QBR 1. And this man was doing it with just Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed was already gone by that point, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have, consistent receiving weapons. Juwan Johnson was pretty great for him down the stretch. That was it. He didn't have a running game. Alvin Kamara went out there, and they weren't giving Devin Neal the ball. They were giving Taysom Hill the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
So he was thrown into tight windows. And he probably should have been an offensive rookie of the year. I know a lot of those people with those 251 bet slips are sad still, but I think it's a promising future for him in New Orleans. And they could add a weapon at 8 in the draft. They could add a Jeremiah Love because they need a running back. They could add a Mekhi Lemon, play along Chris Olave. They could add Jordan Tyson if he's there.
Yep.
Heck, they could even go out and add somebody like Romeo Dobbs to give him a possession receiver. I mean, their cap's not great because it's the Saints. It's never great with their cap, right? It's been years since they've had a good cap space, but I think he's the real deal.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Also, the Saints are at 8 or 9 in the draft.
8.
Depending on if one of those 3 big wide receivers are there, that's also a possibility. So listen, so we'll see if they actually go that route. Other names here, just you see I'm super out on JJ McCarthy. It seems like the Vikings are out on him too. Do they give him another chance? Maybe, but he's going to have a short lease. I was super in on JJ McCarthy, have a few shares. But we pivot fast in Dynasty, try not to be left behind. You also see, I think Shadur Sanders has maybe a chance, more so than JJ McCarthy, to maybe do something. But of course, Malik Willis, Jacoby Brissett, Mac Jones over him. And Tua, I'm totally out on. Marcus Mariota might sneak in. Yeah, Penix. I think Penix has a shot. Simply because he just went down to injury, was looking decent, was gelling. But we'll see what this offense looks like. We got Stefanski in. We've got Pitts potentially out. We'll see what happens. Free agent Kyle Pitts. So it's Drake London, Bijan, and nobody else at the moment. We'll have to see how they build that around him. Will Penix even be ready for the start of the season? I don't know. But that's too much quarterback talk for now. We got to move on to the running backs.
I can't wait till they leave Kyle Pitts and sign David Njoku.
How dare you? I know this was
it's
exactly
gonna happen.
my thought. This was exactly my thought. You see my top 13 running backs here. We got Bijan and Gibbs. I thought of moving Gibbs down to 3 below Ashton Genty, but I wasn't brave enough to do it. So I got Genty at 3, Achane Cook, then Jeremiah Love, the rook slots in at 6. We'll see where he goes. But right now, I feel comfortable with that. Kenneth Walker vaulting up his value in his playoff run without Zach Charbonnet, and he may be without Zach Charbonnet to start the season. We'll see. But I have him at 7 right now. We got JT Hampton, Christian McCaffrey, Breece Hall, Chase Brown scoring all them touchdowns. Bucky Irving. Talk to me about this top baker's dozen over here.
Yeah, I mean, Bijan and Gibbs are in a tier of their own. Ashton Genty, I mean, give this man an O-line, please, I beg.
They're going to.
Yeah, and Jeremiah Love at 6 feels right. That's where I have him as well. It just feels like he's going to slot in. He's the unanimous rookie 101. This class is not great.
Yep.
We'll talk about that later in the offseason. We'll get to that. I have Amarian Hampton at 4. That's probably the biggest stand I'm taking.
I love that.
I think Mike McDaniel getting in there. I know it's not really a scheme fit for what Amarian Hampton likes to do, but I think he'll adjust, and he's a first-round running back, and you got to rank those guys high.
He's
and of course,
good.
like I said, with Herbert, Joel, Rashawn Slater coming back, probably getting some new interior linemen.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see what Amarian Hampton can do. So I'm really bullish on him this offseason.
Totally agree. Christian McCaffrey, you comfortable with this all the way up at 10 for what could be one final ride here?
I'm at 14.
Okay.
So a little lower. I have the tier below him, the Chase Brown, Bucky Irving above him. I just think, what was it, 400 touches that he got this season? Or it was 300.
Oh, yeah.
It was 300.
Well,
that's usually the number.
Yep.
And when they get the number, it doesn't go well. And no one wants him in Dynasty. Like, if you have him in Dynasty, you have to just let it ride. And
this is true. But people will want him when he starts scoring fantasy points again. So, but yeah, you have to hold him throughout the offseason, most likely. Are you worried at all about Devon Achane?
Yes and no. I'm at 5, but I'm very worried. It's just what's going to be that offense? What's it going to look like?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be Malik Willis? Probably.
Yeah, I mean, if they're trying to run Achane inside and bully the interior, it's not going to be his game. That's going to be Ali Gordon's game. So will Achane's snaps be reduced significantly? Is he become the 1B in terms of usage? We know all the bully backs that Green Bay used to employ. I don't know. Could be scary scenes, but the talent is there. But yeah, he could find himself in a Ken Walker situation this year.
Oh, Ken Walker hopefully gets himself out of the Ken Walker situation this year.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
I
don't
feel
think
vindicated when talking about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't think he's leaving, though. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, I traded for him in a bunch of leagues at the start of the season. I'm like, wow, this really tanked my season. And then I watched this postseason run. I'm like, wow, I was right.
Yeah. So
but I still lost money because they didn't give it to him in the regular season.
I hear you. This Breece Hall ranking feels high, but I believe in the talent. We'll see where he ends up. That's one guy surely on the move. Chase Brown doesn't seem high to me. He's not the best talent compared to some of these guys below him, but he does certainly score a bunch of touchdowns on the best offense. You see the other guys here. We got Bucky Quinshawn. I know he's hurt, but he looked damn good doing it. Cam Scatabo, another guy, same situation. Jacobs, Barkley, Kyron, all the way down at 18. Blake Corum is for real. RJ Harvey, Travion Henderson, Travis Etienne, Swift, Javante, Trey Benson. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited for Judkins, but I'm a little worried. That offensive line is just so old, and they haven't picked any like developmental tackles ever. So I'm really concerned about that. But I do have to sneeze real quick.
Yep, I hear you. Yeah, Judkins was a tough one for me, but it's just kind of the talent. I know he had injuries you don't like to see. At the same time, I just got to roll with that talent. I know Cam Scatabo has a similar talent, and his leg was sideways, so I don't know what you want to pick there, but I will take the two young studs over the older guys. And then for me, it was just RJ Harvey, Travion. I still believe, but they got to show me more next year.
It's so tough with Travion. Like, he needs to find the vision, but the vision is like the biggest part of the game that you need. And it doesn't seem like he has it right now. So maybe an offseason of work will benefit him, but it's so tough.
It's hard to say he lacks vision when he was blown up, when that offensive line was blown up every single play.
There was one or two plays where he had a clear lane and he just kind of chose not to. And of course, I see the guy creeping at the bottom of your rankings there, Ramondre Stevenson. It's not like he's going away. Ramondre's not going away. He's a very quality NFL back. Vrabel's going to run him. That's why it's so tough. Like, we were all excited about this running back class from last season. Of course, Genty disappointed, but we know that was more circumstance than player because Las Vegas was just so bad. Many of these guys like RJ Harvey, who he tried to find, he kind of found his flow at the end of the season going in. Travion Henderson really struggled after a couple of big games. Quinshon Judkins, Cam Scatabo got hurt. It kind of feels a little disappointing from this running back class, but really, like, almost none of it was their fault. Either injuries or team bringing them down. So it's really tough.
Yeah, I hear that. But then we got some vets as well. We got Javante Williams, DeAndre Swift. People want to bury, but he just keeps looking good on multiple teams now. As long as they have a great offensive line, DeAndre Swift looks good behind it. You got Trey Benson at 24. Zach Charbonnet, we'll see. He could plummet down if he doesn't start the season, but right now I think he belongs there. If he's healthy, they'll play him. Derrick Henry all the way down at 27, the big dog. That the fall off is coming. We witnessed a little bit of it this season before he went kind of nuclear at the end.
In the week everyone needed him.
Yeah. Monungai, Algier. I think Algier, Gainwell, and Tootin with ETN potentially leaving. I think those three kind of gain a lot, and even Jaylen Warren could gain a lot here, depending on what happens in free agency. And then you see kind of the rest of the names on this list. We got Rico, we got Blake Corum, who probably feels a little bit too low. Snuck Jajarian Price in there, depending where he lands, but maybe he's the second running back off the board. And then you see kind of some names you don't really want to deal with. Emmett Johnson here as well into the top 50. Didn't quite get Katron into the top 50, but he's there too. Any of these names of interest to you in Dynasty?
I mean, Tyler Algier, he's going to leave and probably get a decent sized bag from somebody and be at least a 1B again. And maybe closer. Look, if you're not sharing carries with Bijan, you're probably going to get a better split in any other backfield in the league, unless you're going to Detroit. But he's not going to Detroit. I'm going to eat those words and you're going to clip me in like 2 months. But I think he's primed to value rise. I think Chuba Hubbard is going to, once Rico Dowdle leaves. He was posting efficiency screenshots. Did you see that?
No.
He was posting like after contact efficiency screenshots, and like he was at the top right of the graph. He was posting them for his free agency. I was like, go off. It is smart. But this rookie running back class, outside of Jeremiah Love, because Jeremiah Love's a stud, this rookie running back class kind of concerns me. I hope these guys test well. I think Jarian Price is going to test great. I think Emmett Johnson's going to test great. I was looking forward to Nick Singleton. I told you I put him on a bunch of my best ball teams. He broke his foot. That's not great. Yeah, he's probably somewhere way far down there.
Yeah, I didn't even rank him.
Rashad White, I think he could experience a value boost as well. He's going to leave in free agency.
I think he goes to I think Rachaad White goes to Jacksonville.
I think he goes to Washington. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, you see Caleb Johnson there, Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson might get an opportunity.
Yeah,
Caleb Johnson, I wish he got a different head coach. Because if you got a young head coach, they'd probably see what they had. You'd be inclined to do that. With Mike McCarthy, you're not really inclined to do that.
Yeah.
You're inclined to just run Jalen Warren as far as you can go, but
yeah, I think Gainwell's going to be smart and get out of Dodge. We'll see who accepts the Pittsburgh money. But Caleb could win the number 2 role depending who comes in. Gainwell was just out of his mind this season. Any other running backs you want to talk about here? There's nobody really of interest. James Conner is a 1-year flyer at this point. Got Kamani Vidal, who balled out and now could potentially be seeing a 50-50 split. We're not ranking it that way, but in a Mike McDaniel offense, hello. And then you got guys like Kendre Miller, who look good for a couple games, or his running mate Devin Neal. You got Alvin Kamara all the way down here. Any of these names interest you at all? Jonathan Brooks?
Jonathan Brooks is the one. I'm a believer. Man, those limited carries that he got between the knee injuries, he looked really good.
The 10 carries he got?
Yeah, he looked good on all 10 of them, basically.
Yeah.
If you could get him for cheap, yeah, I know. Oh gosh, who tweeted about him? It was a player that tweeted about him, and I forget who it was. But he's like, "Get those Jonathan Brooks jerseys." And I was in a Discord, and then people just started tweeting posting Jonathan Brooks trade offers. I'm like, where's this coming from?
Crazy. This guy is the guy that interests me with Derrick Henry there, Keaton Mitchell. The explosion is back off the catastrophic knee injury. He looked great for spells, and I like him. We'll see. He's kind of a flyer guy. I would like to. Are we going to talk about Roschon Johnson? You're out of your goddamn mind. Nope. No, we are not, Jamie. Not good. Ryan, say something about Roschon Johnson.
He's in Chicago.
There you go. Moving on to wide receivers. Here's my top 12 or 13 as you see it. We got Jamar Chase at 1. I cannot do it. I can't push this guy off the number 1 spot. It's not happening for me, and I'm not apologizing for it. He's an absolute stud. He is the best pure wide receiver in the game. Does that always translate to pure fantasy points? No, but he looked good with some goddamn garbage behind center there for a couple of games here and there. But then, of course, you got Puka and JSN. Really hard to knock either of those guys out the top 3. You can't do it. Amon-Ra, Justin Jefferson, CD Lamb, Nico Collins, Malik Neighbors, Drake London, George Pickens at 10, Olave McMillan, and T. Higgins sneaking in there. I will not apologize, Mike. I will not. Ryan, are you going to apologize for me?
No, I have him a little lower than you do. I think I have him like, I got to bring him up. I have him at 17. I'll put him up to 14.
Who are we talking about?
T. Higgins.
Oh, okay.
Oh, who are you talking about?
Oh, I thought we were talking about Jamar Chase.
Oh, I'm not apologizing about Jamar Chase either. He's in my number 1 spot as well.
Nice. Well, any issues with this list here?
No, I have a couple of guys a little different. I have Tet a little higher. I have Drake London a little higher. I'm concerned about Malik Neighbors. That's the one where it's the alarm bells kind of ringing for me a little bit. I have him, I believe, at 8 as well. I have him at 7. The alarm bells are kind of going off because that knee injury was really rough. And of course, you always have to deal with the MetLife turf because they're never changing that for some reason.
Yep.
And I'm just concerned about what he's going to look like coming back. It was pretty significant.
Yeah, I agree with you. I heard somewhere, I don't know how credible it was, but I heard someone with some credit saying that if it was this other injury that they didn't say it was, and it wasn't the injury they said it was, then the timeline actually works out and makes sense. So I don't really know. I'm no internet doctor, but I will say for, outside of Malik Neighbors' injuries, the concern is Jackson Dart. Is he going to be developed? We've seen the cast of characters the Giants brought in, the coaching staff. Is it an upgrade? Sure. Brian Callahan was a head coach just last year. And now he's part of, the quarterback's coach, I think. So it's interesting, but this was the man who was in charge of developing Will Levis. So, and could not do that. I don't know what to think, what to say here. But the situation surrounding Malik Neighbors, I'm not in love with either. The talent, obviously, there. You see the rest of the names here, but look, some other names. The guy who was hanging out there at 14, Garrett Wilson, how the mighty have fallen. Another situation dependent guy. The talent is there. He's shown out each and every year when healthy. The problem is no one will throw him the football. We'll see who they get in. Hopefully that changes for the Jets this offseason. A.J. Brown at 15 for me, ahead of Rashee Rice, Lad McConkey. We got Rome Odunze, I still believe. Brian Thomas Jr., I still believe. Part 2, Zay Flowers. I can't get him any lower. Zay doesn't catch touchdowns except for the last 5 weeks of the season, apparently. Hopefully that's a trend we'll see. I got Waddle, I got Williams, and I got my first rookie wide receiver for now, Jordan Tyson. I just believe you have to throw out most of what happened last season, and he was my number one guy 2 seasons ago. We had injuries to himself, to his quarterback. Offense was a mess after that. Any thoughts about these wide receiver 2s, Ryan?
Yeah, I've kind of given up on a couple of these guys. I feel like I've given up on Rome. I've given up on BTJ. I've given up on who else is up there. I haven't given up on Rashee Rice. I just have him lower because of obvious reasons. But that's not a talent thing. Jordan Tyson, I don't have my top 24 just yet. I need a landing spot for him. And, considering if you need a landing spot for someone and you can't put him in your top 24 and he's going to go 102, 103, it's not going to be a great rookie draft, Jeremy. It's not going to be a great one.
I agree with that.
I have Devontae Smith and Luther Burden significantly higher. I think AJ Brown can leave. It doesn't sound like he's going to leave, but you got to price in the possibility that he's going to leave, and then Devontae is just going to see 35% of targets because there's no one else to target. So,
well, will Goddard also leave? Because my assumption is yes.
I don't think so. I think Goddard stays because there's a thing with the contracts that Howie does where it's actually cheaper on the cap this year to just extend him than let him go, because it's like 20 million dead cap if he leaves, and if you sign him to like a 10, 11, 12 million dollar deal, you're saving like 8 to 10 million on the cap. So it makes sense for him to stay on a shortened deal, but who knows what's going to actually happen.
Yeah, very fair. I feel a little dirty with Emeka Egbuka this high, but I'm going to leave him there for now. Devonta Smith, my concern is that even if AJ Brown leaves, they're going to bring someone in over the top. He's not a 1. He's a fantastic 2, but he at least needs someone at his level, if not above it, to draw coverage. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't know if I still believe, but that's why my ranking is here for him. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But then I got Mekhi Lemon here coming in at 28. We got DK Metcalf, Jacoby Myers, and then Carnell Tate right here as well. I think Myers gets, DK Metcalf kind of had a resurgence, and I think Myers kind of gets a majority role. I really do expect Brian Thomas Jr. to leave this team, not of his own free will, because it's not that time yet. But we'll see what they end up doing. And if that doesn't happen, we're going to have to reassess. Thoughts about any of these names here?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on Brian Thomas Jr. and Jacoby Myers because was it James Gladstone or I think it was Cohen that had that press conference where he didn't call anyone a true wide receiver 1. And like you drafted Brian Thomas in the first round, alpha size, he had a great rookie year, and you're just like, nah, he's not that great. So I think he's gone.
And that was like Kobe's like second game or something.
Yeah. So send this man to Buffalo.
Yeah.
I beg.
Please.
Or Baltimore.
I don't know if they're doing it. Jamie is bolder than I am. What are you thinking? Top 20?
I could get there with Lemon. I don't think I can get there with Tate at this point. Lemon hits every box you want to, except for his size. If he comes in shorter at the combine, we're going to have problems. And
it's a big box, or not.
It's a big box, and its rookie class isn't any more problems than it already has. I keep stressing that. Yeah. And then Tate, like his senior numbers were good. But man, oh man, his yards per route run last year was like, I think it was like 1.5. Like, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State's quarterbacks are perennially not good. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Tate at the moment is my third of these 3. I think he'll be fine in the right system. But for me, it's going to depend where Tate goes. I think he has kind of a lot more options into terms of where he fits. I just think the problem is going to be he could be overshadowed by mediocre wide receivers right away. That concerns me. If life gives you a lemon, you win championships. I guess it depends who, not if you're the New York Jets, Jamie. Let's just be careful about that. Maybe not if you're the Cleveland Browns either.
Look, the long-term outlook for the Jets is okay. If someone goes to the Jets, you're probably punting 2026 for Mekhi Lemon or Colonel Tate. But 2027, you have 3 first-round picks. Oh, you have Arch Manning, who's probably progressing. You have Julian Saint at Ohio State. Like, you'll be able to get a guy in there 2027. You might have to punt a year, and people may know that. But the Browns are the one that scare me because they're sitting at 6. They need a guy, and they could draft one of these dudes and just absolutely tank their rookie draft stock.
Yeah,
that's what
I really hope not. I really hope not. That's going to actually tank our rookie drafts. Let's not root for that at all. Terry McLaurin, you see some Ricky Pearsall because of age. I had to put him above the productive vets in McLaurin and Pittman. It's really tough out there in Indy with the quarterback situation. Daniel Jones's injury. You see some of these other guys, vet producers. Sutton keeps catching touchdowns. Devontae Adams doing it, probably going to do it for one more season. He's going to be a great value in dynasty startups. You could probably get him in the 7th, 8th round. Be very happy with your production for a year. And then guys like Christian Watson, DJ Moore, if he lands in a new space, Jaden Higgins produced this season, and how the mighty have fallen. Travis Hunter all the way down here.
Why did I take him at 102, Jeremy? Why did I take him at 102?
You see my top 50 plus, and we got some other rookie wide receivers peeking in as well. Dobbs, DK, and then we got Lane. But that's where we are. Anything you want to talk about other than Alec Pierce? I know we could do a whole show on him. We will.
Oh, we could do a whole show on him. Don't be surprised when this dude gets 30 plus mil in the offseason.
Yeah, agree.
He's going to get such a he's way more productive than what the yards and touchdowns say. He's a insane deep field stretcher. So I think he's going to get 30 mil, and I think it's going to the Twitter reactions are going to be something come that free agent day, but it's deserved, and maybe he'll stay in house.
Yeah, this is the next iteration of Will Fuller, just the 20 plus ADOT.
But he stays healthy.
And catching it, everything downfield. I don't know if I would say he stays healthy. He stayed healthy last season. But I think
more than Will Fuller had, sadly.
Well, this is true. But with Alec Pierce, I love it. The thing that I loved to see at the end of last season was they were running him on crossers and kind of underneath routes. That's really where they need to be. But yeah, we'll see how he's utilized. Another guy down there, Travis Hunter. A lot of this depends on utilization. Will he even be playing wide receiver next week or next year? Some people say no, but that is another conversation for another time.
Another show.
Ryan, the people want my dynasty kicker rankings. And by the people, I mean Jamie. Jamie, here you go. Read them and weep. They are complete, but lovely. I wouldn't, just be careful. Tyler Loop is probably going to be a top 3 option. I don't think that should be the case, but it is what it is. You see all these guys, but who cares about that? Let's run to tight end and wrap the show. Brandon Aubrey or bust. I guess so. Who knows? But let's run to tight end and have some debates. We're going to start at the top. Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, Colston Loveland. Any issues with the top 3 in that order?
I got a little hot takey, I think. I have Colston Loveland over Trey McBride.
How dare you? Wow. Talk about it.
It's steamy, but who's Arizona's quarterback going to be realistically next year? Is it going to be Brissett? If it's Brissett again, I'm wrong.
Probably.
Then I'm wrong. But if it's Kyler, if it's someone else, if it's a rookie, if it's Ty Simpson, I don't trust.
Yuck.
I don't trust them to get Trey McBride the ball. I trust Caleb Williams to get Colston Loveland the ball because all we saw was him peppering him with targets, 10 to 15 a game, it felt like. I think you could rank them both in either direction, but I'm Colston Loveland over Trey McBride right now. Would I accept a trade? Probably not, but.
How are you ranking those 3?
I have it Bowers, Loveland, McBride.
Yep.
I think Mendoza is going to do wonders for Brock Bowers.
I agree. Mendoza and Kubiak with What I can only listen, the Raiders have, I wrote this out in a Discord chat the other day. In fact, let me pull it up. But the Raiders not only have Clint Kubiak and not only are very, very likely to be taking the number one quarterback off the board, but the other thing you have to consider, I'm trying to find it, but they have the 101, the 201, the 301. And then they have 3 fourth-round picks, 2 fifths, 2 sixths, and the second most cap space of any team in the league. And they have 2 offensive linemen who went down with injury who are definitely above average in this league. So there's something to build off of on offense. They need a lot, but Trey Tucker was decent as well. This offense can come together while also the defense not really coming together. And then you have a situation that we love to see for fantasies. So I'm with you. Brock Bowers for me, I could not put him at 3, which is why Loveland is there. But I got to show love to Trey McBride here. But Colston Loveland, I love him, and I had him ranked over Tyler Warren last year in rookie drafts. I still have it that way. I think that's pretty clear at this point.
Yeah, and like you said, it could get easier for Brock Bowers in that Raiders situation exponentially. Like Clint Kubiak takes Shaheed with them. That's your wide receiver 2. Trey Tucker, serviceable 3. You just need a 1 there. And,
Yep.
you know, I don't think you get that at 201, but you can figure it out as you go. Brock Bowers can still be the number 1 target, and that's why I have him at 1. So
Very fair.
easy fix. It's not really, but it is.
How about the rest of this top 12? Really top 10. Let's forget George Kittle for now. But I ranked them Tucker Kraft at 4, Warren, Laporta, Fannin, Gadsden, Kyle Pitts. What do you think about these guys in this order? And would you sub anybody out?
I'm a little lower on Tucker Kraft after the ACL, a little lower on Sam Laporta after the back injury, but that's about it. I mean, Tyler Warren was exceptional. Who's going to be his quarterback? That's a question. How's Tucker Kraft and Sam Laporta going to come off injuries? Who's Harold Fannin's quarterback going to be? There's a lot of questions the second you hit number 4. And it's really tough. I mean, you could make an argument to put any of the guys from, say, 4 to 9 at number 4, and I'd probably be okay with it.
Agree.
So it's a big tier there.
Apparently, Trey McBride reached out to Sam Laporta and said, "You're going to eat," because Arizona Cardinals former offensive coordinator Drew Petzing is now the offensive coordinator in Detroit. I don't know if that's true. I don't know that there's enough seats
Arizona
at the
have
table.
A Jahmyr Gibbs?
Or
am I missing something?
Williams or an Amon-Ra St. Brown. Holy crap.
Am I missing something?
Yeah, Sam Laporta, I think, will have great games, but will be inconsistent, unfortunately. But we shall see. There's the rest of those names. George Kittle all the way down at 10 because of injury and nothing else. Hopefully he heals up soon. He'll be a nice value in startups if you want to take the risk. Here's the rest of the names that matter. You see Stowers all the way down at the bottom. I pushed Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce super far down. I think Kelce maybe has one more mediocre season left in him. We'll see. Maybe he just hangs it up. Mark Andrews is on the decline. I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do if they're going to have to bring somebody else in to supplement that. And I think he becomes automatically the number 3 option in the pass game. That's not what we want in lower volume passing games, but sometimes that passing game is high volume. You just never know where Lamar's going to chuck it. AJ Barner, I'm super high on. He's looked great, especially in these playoffs. You see some of the other names even higher up. Isaiah Likely moving teams pretty soon here. Brenton Strange has looked great when healthy. Terrence Ferguson has looked great, and his usage should ramp up. Mason Taylor, the usage was there, just the ball did not travel his way enough. What do you think about these guys?
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. Terrence Ferguson is a tight end 1. I think it's his time. I think Higbee's going to leave. I forget Parkinson's contract, but it's worth noting that on the biggest play of the Rams season, Matthew Stafford looked Terrence Ferguson's way. Just saying. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. That was someone posted that one on my Discord. I'm like, hey, you're right. It's pretty important. But
I don't have his snap percentage on the season, but it was incredibly low. And every time he was twisting in the air and knifing through the secondary, he looks fantastic. Yeah, I really like the player. I just worry about uses. There's a lot of tight ends still there, even if a few of them leave.
Yeah, that's fair. But also, I do want to say this. Kansas City get 20. it feels like the right ranking, but it worries me because
Explain.
I just, like I said, I'm down in this rookie class.
Yep.
The athleticism is good. It's not great. I think I'm going to be higher on Eli Stowers compared to, cost perception. I think Eli Stowers is going to be a mid to late second round pick probably.
Fair.
And Kenyon Sadiq's probably going to go mid first. So I'm going to be Eli Stowers over Sadiq. I might have it ranked that way when we get there, when we get landing spots. Who knows if one of these guys goes to Denver? Denver's a pretty great spot.
It's true.
I talked about Philly with you in the DMs. That's no longer because Scott Loeffler, the guy who coached Harold Bannon at Bowling Green, left. So he's no longer involved in the offense. So that kind of takes away that spot. But we'll see where these guys land. We'll see what happens to them. But I think Stowers over Sadiq. I like the profile better.
That's definitely fair. And I will definitely have 0 Sadiq at where he's going right now.
No way.
If that maintains, there's no way I'm taking him there. And I will have plenty of Stowers if he's going mid to late second, like he is at the moment. Brent Strange, has just been fantastic. That offense is humming, and Trevor Lawrence looked his way. He needs the safety blanket. In fact, Parker Washington only first blew up throughout the season when Brenton Strange went down with injury. Of course, it was a Parker Washington show after that whenever he was healthy. But Brenton Strange, I think, has the opportunity here to really keep it going. And I think he's only 24 years old, if I'm not mistaken. So a younger guy as well. Just because here's some other names. I got Tongas all the way up at 25.
Yes.
Because he's going to play most of the season, I think. And then, maybe he gets a deal, gets moved. We'll see what happens to him. But he looks good. Yeah, maybe they do. Kate Otten, Jawan Johnson, guys who catch the football but aren't incredibly special. My Elijah Arroyo ranking hurts my soul, but AJ Barner has been better, and they like him better. We'll see if they go to a 2 tight end set. Have they named an offensive coordinator in Seattle yet, or are they just?
I don't think they have, but Elijah Arroyo was the one bad pick you could have made at tight end last year. It feels like all these other guys are up in your top 18, 17, and then Elijah Arroyo's he's in the right spot. I'm not saying he's not. But man, everyone else, I mean, Gunnar Helm too, but like Gunnar Helm was like way later than Arroyo. Arroyo was in that tier with Harold Fannin and Terrence Ferguson.
Yeah.
And both those guys blew up. So,
well, we shall see how it goes, but that's going to be about it for our rankings. We don't need to look at those anymore.
Is the one I'm looking at where it should have been.
Why? Because
if he got like an actual target share like he should, like you see when he gets the ball, he does great things with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
He should be in that 4 to 9 tier. He's not, because of obvious reasons. You're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying the talent level does not match the dynasty ranking, but the dynasty ranking is right.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, the same could be said for Rondé Gadsden, right? He was talented in a month-long, but whether it was scheme or the fact that, he didn't necessarily continue to evolve beyond that month-long stretch and continue to work open. And they found ways to kind of defend him, whatever the case may be. Fannin and Gadsden at 7 and 8 really feels like a disappointment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
I totally agree.
It is. Hey, it is what it is. Jamie, we appreciate you as always. We're going to be here throughout the offseason, just giving you any and every piece of information. You can find us at Adjust the Ranks over on Twitter. We're over on YouTube. But here we are part of the FFU, the double FU, the FU times 2, the fantasy football universe. We are running daily bits of shorts that are going out on YouTube, that are going out on TikTok as well. So you can follow us along there. Also, if you want to draft, I have something. What do I have?
Fast draft.
Oh, is it not here? Yeah. Where is it?
Where's the fast draft code?
Fast draft. You can use our promo code for 100% first time deposit match of up to $25.
They're doing early 26s already.
Yeah. Get those rookies, get in early and find the values. Ryan, any final words for our dynasty rankings before people can find your dynasty rankings on Fantasy Pros?
No, I mean, it feels like the dynasty rankings are pretty, set in stone. There's tiers where you could argue, but it's pretty quiet in these dynasty streets right now. So
Yeah.
it'll start to heat up around rookie time. The combines in 2 weeks. It'll probably heat up a little bit then. Maybe we'll do a post rookie or post combine rookie draft or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, ATR, we're going to have daily rookie drafts leading up to your rookie draft. So that'll be in April. You can join us. I'm going to be here with Ryan, sometimes without Ryan, sometimes depending on when he can make it. And we're just going to be rookie drafting with some special guests, along with anyone and everyone else who will jump in and join us and get that practice in. That is coming. But for now, I will enjoy my Super Bowl, what should I say, attendee ship for my team. They didn't belong there. They got there. We were happy, but not happy to get dismantled in front of a national audience. But it is what it is. So we go into the off season. 2025 season is closed. We are on to 2026. We're going to have a startup draft probably in the next month or so, pre-rookie draft. We're also going to be doing plenty of underdog mocks as well that Ryan likes. So we're here each and every week to give you a little bit more information. So thanks for joining us. For Ryan, I am Jeremy. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I liked it.